Hello fans, welcome to Man Utd Transfer HQ. Stay updated with the latest transfer gossip and breaking news.
Our today news is 1 Man United news, new striker targets eyed as Ruben Amorim addresses Jim Ratcliffe plan. 2 Ruben Amorim responds to Man United relegation fears with brutal admission. 3 Man United stars training ground bust up, shocking red card, club chief's eyebrows raised. For Jamie Carragher aims the same dig at Ruben Amorim and Ange Postecoglou. 5 Man United news, transfer target drops hint on future as flop back to turn fortunes around. 6 Man United open to selling £180 million trio after Amorim admits, we need to sell. 7 perfect for Ahmad, Man United planning summer bid for £67 million monster. 8 Man United could seal quick pre-summer deal to sign frightening forward. Our first news is Man United news, new striker targets eyed as Ruben Amorim addresses Jim Ratcliffe plan. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has spoken out about Sir Jim Ratcliffe's latest cost-cutting plans and delivered a team news update ahead of his side's trip to Tottenham. Manchester United are preparing for a huge Premier League clash with Tottenham on Sunday, with just 2 points separating the two sides. United are currently languishing in 13th, while Spurs are 14th with both clubs enduring disappointing campaigns. Red Devils boss Ruben Amorim will be desperate to pick up a victory, having won just 4 league games since taking charge. United are also making plans for next season, with Amorim set to continue his major overhaul which began in January with the likes of Marcus Rashford, Antony and Tyrell Malacia shipped out on loan. Here, Mirror Football rounds up all the latest Manchester United news. Amorim says he understands United's current financial issues, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe reportedly planning more mass redundancies. Ratcliffe has made some major cost-cutting moves since buying a stake in the club, and Amorim has been quizzed on the prospect of further job cuts. I have to understand all these problems, but that problem of our club is not new, Amorim replied. We already knew all the rules of financial fair play, but that cannot change the way I coach the team. New strikers targeted. According to a report from The Athletic, United are set to turn their attention to Liam Delap and Benjamin Sesko next summer as they look to strengthen their attack. Victor Gyökeres has been heavily linked with a potential reunion with Amorim, but the report states that such a move is now unlikely, with the striker wanting to join a club who can guarantee him Champions League football. The report adds that moves for either Delap or Sesko are more likely, although Arsenal are long-term admirers of the latter and could rival United for his signature. Amorim also gave an update on his squad ahead of United's trip to Tottenham after Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Altay Bayender, Johnny Evans and Tom Heaton missed their win over Leicester through injury. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Man United Transfer HQ. Our second news is Ruben Amorim responds to Man United relegation fears with brutal admission. Manchester United travel to fellow strugglers Tottenham this weekend, aware that defeat could push them closer to the relegation zone, even though the Red Devils are currently 12 points clear of 18th placed Leicester. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has admitted there is no comfort when looking at the Premier League table amid fears the team could be sucked into a relegation battle. The Red Devils face a huge clash away at fellow strugglers Tottenham this Sunday, knowing that if either side are defeated it will continue their turbulent season and push them closer to the bottom 3. United have endured a woeful season that started under Erik ten Hag, but successor Ruben Amorim has been unable to galvanize the squad following 5 defeats in his first 10 games in charge. The team currently sit 13th in the table, 2 points ahead of opponents Tottenham, and will hope victory can help them continue their bid to steadily climb the standings again. After it was put to him that there was 12 points between his side and 18th placed Leicester City, Amorim refused to dismiss the threat of a possible relegation battle in the weeks to come. The ex-Sporting Lisbon boss said, "If you see the table it is impossible to feel any type of comfort. We just want to win, to improve our performance because we are Man United. There is no comfort in any situation in this club." United look to be turning a corner under Amorim after racking up 3 wins in all competitions against Rangers, Fulham and FCSB at the end of last month, before being brought back down to earth with a 2-0 home loss to Crystal Palace earlier this month. With two of United's wins in that previous run coming from away from home, Amorim was asked whether a trip to Tottenham might be beneficial for his side. He said, "I feel it in the game and the performance because you see it, I see it. Sometimes when you are the underdog, especially in big games, that is a thing we should not feel in any game because we are Manchester United. But I feel the players are more free. When you have to win the game, you have to be more dominant in every aspect of the game, and I feel the team is not quite there. Sometimes the feeling is different when we play away." United have secured some impressive results away from home at big teams in recent months after beating Manchester City 2-1 at the Etihad in December before holding league leaders Liverpool to a 2-2 draw at Anfield last month. Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our third news is Man United stars training ground bust up, shocking red card, club chief's eyebrows raised. Manchester United youngster Dan Gore has experienced a colourful few years, with controversial moments playing as much of a defining role in shaping his early career as his impressive talent. Dan Gore's rise through the ranks at Manchester United has been anything but dull. The highly rated midfielder, 20, is the club's latest academy product determined to break off the conveyor belt and into senior football, impressing with his tenacity, technical ability, and relentless drive. His is a story defined by ambition, flashes of brilliance, and a fiery edge that has both turned heads and ruffled feathers. From a heated training ground clash to a shocking red card that left fans stunned, Gore's passion is as evident as his potential. Currently on loan at Rotherham United, he's eager to make a statement amid whispers that a spot in Ruben Amorim's senior squad could be up for grabs, despite an eyebrow-raising incident that has complicated matters. Read more. Roy Keane lets rip over new Man United signing Patrick Dorgu. Is this what it's come to? Read more. Ruben Amorim responds to Man United relegation fears with brutal admission. Here, Mirror Football delves into his journey so far, the controversies that have shaped him, and what the future may hold for one of United's most intriguing prospects. One thing's for sure, Dan Gore is never boring. Who is Dan Gore? Gore joined United's academy in 2018 after several years in Burnley's youth setup. He quickly rose through the ranks and was part of the club's 2022 FA Youth Cup winning side alongside Alejandro Garnacho. His standout performances earned him an invite from Ralf Rangnick to train with the first team, and he was later named United Reserve Team Player of the Year for the 2022-23 season. In September 2023, Gore made his senior debut in the EFL Cup against Crystal Palace, and 3 months later, he marked his Premier League bow against Aston Villa. The following January, he was loaned to League One side Port Vale, but a quadricep injury limited him to just one appearance at Vale Park. After returning to United that summer, Gore suffered a dislocated shoulder, forcing him to spend another 5 months on the sidelines. Once back to full fitness, he was loaned out to Rotherham. However, injury troubles have since hindered his progress. Training ground bust up. Anthony Marshall, on the face of it, seems like a pretty placid fellow, but he was anything but when Gore clattered into him during a United training session in November 2022. Along with a handful of other academy players, Gore had been brought in to make up the numbers as a big chunk of the club's senior squad had jetted off to Qatar for the World Cup. Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our fourth news is Jamie Carragher aims the same dig at Ruben Amorim and Ange Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou and Ruben Amorim will square off when Tottenham host Manchester United at the weekend, as Jamie Carragher admits their previous successes haven't necessarily prepared them for the Premier League. Jamie Carragher admits landing titles in Scotland or Portugal doesn't prepare you for managing in the Premier League. Ange Postecoglou and Ruben Amorim are both men under pressure as they prepare to face off this weekend. Manchester United will travel to Tottenham on Sunday as both sides look to address their poor form, which has them sat in the bottom half of the Premier League. Postecoglou is more than 18 months into his tenure with opinions divided on his spell, whilst Amorim's reign is very much in its infancy. Both individuals are struggling to implement their philosophies effectively, albeit injuries and a lack of players have been a factor. Amorim and Postecoglou claimed multiple honours at Sporting Lisbon and Celtic respectively, which Carragher insists shouldn't be shirked at, but he insists their dominance means the managers are often searching for answers in England that they never had to source in the past. He wrote in the Telegraph. Postecoglou and his Manchester United opponent this weekend, Ruben Amorim, faced the same issue because they built their reputation in a league where they can dominate the ball. I hate the idea of dismissing managers because they only won the Scottish or Portuguese league. If you excel in such countries, credit should be afforded. But with respect to Celtic and Sporting Lisbon, they never have to deal with so many fixtures in which they will suffer out of possession, and have to ready their players for those longer periods where they must focus on winning it back, or stopping clever, world-class attackers. Reading a game does not mean abandoning principles. Postecoglou and Amorim are fine coaches who deserve to be where they are. The question is how much they can evolve and compromise to make their sides more solid. That is where they are currently falling short. One of the most frequent misreadings of analysis of Postecoglou and Amorim is that such compromise means changing formations and ideals. Amorim needs European progression to save United's campaign. In all likelihood, Postecoglou needs it to keep his job. Tottenham have only won twice in the league since the beginning of December. United meanwhile, who were beaten 3-0 by the North Londoners earlier in the year, have lost 7 of their last 11 games, including their last outing against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our 5th news: Man Utd news, transfer target drops hint on future as flop back to turn fortunes around. Manchester United travel to Tottenham on Sunday, though Ruben Amorim is also looking to set up his summer transfer plans ahead of an expected overhaul of the Red Devils squad. Manchester United are building up to Sunday's huge Premier League clash with Tottenham. The two sides sit next to each other in the Premier League table, having both endured awful seasons. Ruben Amorim will be desperate for a win, having tasted victory just 4 times in the top flight since replacing Erik ten Hag as manager. While there is still 14 games to go of the league season, attention is already turning to the expected summer overhaul. Amorim is set to make a raft of signings at the end of the season as he changes the face of his squad. And one transfer target has now appeared to confirm that he would be keen to join the Red Devils. Here, Mirror Football rounds up all the latest Manchester United news. Target speaks out. Bologna star Sam Bukima has revealed he regularly watches Manchester United matches in a hint over his future plans. The defender has impressed for the Italian side this season, attracting the attention of a number of top teams. Josh and I are always in touch, even this morning. We don't just talk about football, but about life. I always watch Manchester United, Bukima told Gazzetta dello Sport. We have a chat with him and Ndoye and others. There's a really strong friendship between all of us. There was a chemistry between us, which still exists today, huge, unique. Roy Keane has revealed that he doesn't support United, despite his long history with the club. Keane was memorably the Red Devils skipper for a number of years, winning many trophies. In retirement, he has become a successful pundit, regularly criticizing his former club. But the Irishman has denied he has any real affinity for the club. He told the Stick to Football podcast, "I don't have that affinity with the clubs I've played for. I don't support Manchester United. I don't support Nottingham Forest. I have more of an insight with how it works at the club and the expectations, but I wouldn't say that I'm a fan. Their results don't make or break my weekend. I wouldn't go home going, get in there, that was a great win. I'd be looking at it in a professional way." Malaysia backed for success. United flop Tyrell Malaysia has been backed to succeed on loan at PSV Eindhoven. Malaysia cut his nightmare at Old Trafford short by joining PSV on loan, with former Netherlands boss Dick Advocaat tipping him to turn his fortunes around. Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our sixth news is Man United open to selling £180 million trio after Amorim admits, "We need to sell." Ruben Amorim insisted Manchester United must sell before they buy in the summer, and sources claims three high-profile stars with one thing in common are all available for big fees. Man Utd's winter window plans were tempered by the need to adhere to PSR regulations. Accordingly, and despite the clear need for multiple new signings, only Patrick Dorgu arrived from a first-team perspective. Speaking in a press conference ahead of the clash with Tottenham on Sunday, Amorim admitted Man United will again be reliant on sales before they can splash the cash in the summer. "Our biggest problem now is Tottenham," the head coach said. "We know the moment of the club. Of course I have to understand all of these problems, but that problem of our club is not new. You already knew the rules of fair play. We have a problem at the moment, but that cannot influence the way I coach the team and prepare the next game, so my focus is on that and not the other things." Pushed on the longer-term impact after restrictions dampened their January transfer ambitions, Amorim said, "Here is simple, to do something we need to sell players. My focus is to prepare the game. We cannot do signings now. The window is closed. We need to focus on the games that we have, especially the next one, and then in the summer we will see. I don't know how long it is going to take. At the moment we are in a difficult situation, the way we play, the games that we don't win. We know that, but we need to work every day and to focus on the little steps, winning the next game, prepare very well the next summer and then we will see." But if Man United are to win the Premier League over the coming seasons, their squad will require a radical overhaul and difficult decisions on those already in situ may have to be made. Rashford's situation was different to the others, with his broken relationship with Amorim prompting Man United to actively seek a deal. United were not actively pushing Mainoo or Garnacho out, though they would have entertained the idea of cashing in if their target valuation of each player were met. The one thing each of that trio have in common is their homegrown players. The proceeds from the sales of such stars are logged as pure profit on the books and greatly enhance a side's spending power. Rashford would go on to join Aston Villa in a 6-month loan deal that contains a £40 million option to buy. Should Villa ignore the option, Man United will look to find a buyer to the tune of £40 million. Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our seventh news is perfect for a Man United planning summer bid for £67 million monster. The January transfer window officially slammed shut at the start of this month and it was a fairly busy month for Manchester United, with ins and outs at Old Trafford. It was Ruben Amorim's first chance to shape the squad in his vision, after he came in to replace Erik ten Hag, and he added two new players to his squad. Patrick Dorgu came in on a permanent deal from Lecce to bolster the manager's options in the wing-back positions, whilst 18-year-old centre-back Aiden Heaven joined from Premier League rivals Arsenal. The bulk of Manchester United's business was, however, centred around outgoings as they were able to move on a number of players during the winter window. Youngsters Dan Gore and Ethan Wheatley both secured loan exits for the second half of the season, whilst Marcus Rashford, Tyrell Malacia, and Antony were also sent away on loan after failing to convince Amorim that they were ready to be important to the team. The Red Devils, though, already have one eye on the summer transfer window at the end of the campaign, as they have reportedly identified a target to bolster their options at the top end of the pitch. Manchester United plotting bid for new striker. Manchester United have struggled to get goals out of their strikers in the Premier League this season. Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee have combined for 5 goals in the top flight so far. This shows that Amorim is not getting enough out of his two senior centre-forwards at this moment in time, which may be why the club are now looking to bring in another player in that position. According to GivenSport, Manchester United are eyeing up Napoli number 9 Victor Osimhen ahead of a summer swoop for the Nigeria international. The report claims that they are set to make a summer bid for the impressive marksman, who is currently on loan at Turkish giants Galatasaray, as they would like to improve their options in the striker position. It adds that the United board are planning to hold talks over a possible deal for the former Lille centre-forward, as it has been made clear, that he does not have a future at Napoli beyond the end of his loan spell in Turkey. Givesport adds that the club are also set to make a decision on whether or not to keep hold of Højlund and Xerxes in the summer window, which suggests that there is still a chance that one, or both, of them could move on ahead of next season. The outlet reveals that Osimhen's release clause at Napoli is set to drop to £63 million in the summer, but it remains to be seen whether or not the Red Devils are prepared to bid at that price or if they will look to negotiate a cheaper deal. Amorim should, though, push for the club to secure a deal for the striker because he could come in as the perfect addition for Amad Diallo next term. Don't miss out on all the latest updates. Subscribe for more Man United transfer news. Our last news is Man United could seal quick pre-summer deal to sign frightening forward. Manchester United could be prepared to move quickly in their pursuit of Sporting Lisbon winger Giovanni Quenda to fend off summer competition, journalist Ben Jacobs has exclusively told Givesport. The Red Devils are reportedly keen on reuniting Ruben Amorim with the 17-year-old starlet at Old Trafford next season and may soon take initial steps to secure his arrival early. Although reports in Portugal have claimed a deal is already in place between the two parties, Jacobs suggests United are still hoping to reach their valuation of Quenda in negotiations with Sporting. The Premier League giants appear unlikely to afford Quenda's release clause, which has reportedly risen to £83 million following his recent contract extension in Lisbon. Jacobs, speaking exclusively to Givesport, has revealed that Man United are prepared to strike a pre-agreement with Quenda over a summer move if negotiations progress as expected. It may move relatively quickly, because if things progress how Manchester United hope and they get the kind of valuation that they're looking for, they are prepared to try and pre-agree that one now to ward off other summer competition. Quenda, who was handed his Sporting debut by Amorim last year, has since become a regular for the Portuguese giants, making 37 appearances across all competitions and registering 9 goal involvements. The 17-year-old, praised as frightening by Scoop, is regarded as one of the best young European talents in his position and would become a second wing-back addition at United after Patrick Dorgu. A more defensive-minded player, the Denmark international became Amorim's first senior signing at Old Trafford last month, signing a 5.5-year deal with the club. Man United are anticipating a busy first summer window under Amorim, with as many as 4 key signings targeted, including a new first-choice striker and a deep-lying midfielder. Giovanni Quenda's Sporting stats, 2024-25 Primera Liga. Games 21. Goals 1. Assists 3. Expected goals 0.5. Goal creating actions 2. Minutes played 1,466. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Man United Transfer HQ, and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop with the latest transfer news and rumors. One more thing, what are your thoughts on these updates? Comment below.